before willing to become a great writer, one has to be a great reader. I'm greatly delighted to host so many vibrant faces who are joining here and today to accompany each other on this journey of finding smart and efficient paths to start a startup. On behalf of TechBairn, I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our guest, Dr. Ramesh Chandra Biswal, for joining us to shed light upon today's topic. We are so pleased to welcome our dear audience as well. So this webinar is a part of series TechBairn, which is an initiative by TechBairn to help students get knowledge and facts shared by the experienced personality in the domain itself. Through this webinar, we hope to guide our audience in the most appropriate manner to help them achieve their goals. Talking about our organizer, TechBairn, a pioneer in the tech industry, is one of the fastest growing professional training platform in the country. It has been awarded as the best startup of the country for the year 2021 by Indian Achievers Award and the most promising startup in Bhubaneswar by Startup Bud. It is dedicated towards providing participants with a state-of-art training in technology. Its goal is to involve more and more students into projects and research topics which will help them to understand industry requirements and deliver their work according to industry demands. So as I mentioned earlier, it is all about starting a startup. So without any further delay, I would now like to introduce you all to our speaker, Dr. Ramesh Chandra Biswal. He is a versatile personality who is skilled in various domains. Being founder and CEO of Mart, he will be sharing with us his journey of building a startup from scratch. His goal is to empower rural India and at the same time creating a sustainable livelihood through research and innovation for its small problems of rural life. Sir, we are so glad that you could be here today to share your insights on starting a startup. To make this meeting more productive, we have enabled our open chat feature where one can source any of their queries towards the end of the session for 10 to 15 minutes. Also, at the end of webinar, there will be an attendance conducted via form on the basis of which every attendee will be awarded with a certificate of participation. So let's welcome Dr. Ramesh Chandra Biswal to enlighten us with his words, knowledge, and most importantly, experience, which plays a great role in any individual's career.
Thank you, Saumya, for nice introduction. Thank you all for joining. So, myself, Ramesh, and CEO and founder, Mart. So, we have started this journey back in 2017. And before that, I was working as a scientist in USA. And I was basically in the material scientific field. And the thing is, I was born and brought up in a village based in Odisha. And I had the experience of farming and the rural livelihood. But thing is, while I was working there in USA, then only I was thinking of this startup, how to do something good for the farmers and for the villagers. So that was the thought that was there in my mind, and then I left my job from USA and came back to my village and started this thing. So basically, let me share my screen here. So is it visible, Saumya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so thing is, let me first introduce Mart, so that after that we'll interact with you people and we'll discuss few other things, what are the queries in your mind and how to start a startup and all. So thing is, while we are going to start a startup, first thing is the problem. What kind of problem we are going to solve? What is the pain point of the society? And without finding a proper pain point, we can't find a proper solution. So pain point is very important in that case. And here in case of Mart, we are trying to solve the pain point of a farmer and as well as consumers. The thing is, as I told you, I was born and brought up in village, and I've seen the life of a farmer, how distressful it is while they are unable to sell their products, and how difficult it is to find a proper marketplace, how to get proper price, and it is even painful if the producers are getting wasted in the field. And at the same time, nowadays you'll find lots of chemicals in the marketplace. That means in each of our food products, whether it is vegetable or groceries or processed food. So we don't know what are the chemicals we are eating in each of our meals. So that is the biggest pain point of the consumers as well. And while the farmers, some of the farmers are there, those who are not applying the chemicals, but they don't get proper market for their products as well, and they don't know what means who is the proper consumers for their product. So that means if supply means producer is there, consumer is also there, but we are unable to means link them off properly, and that's why Bhilamat came here. So Bhilamat is working on the ground with the farmers in the rural areas especially, and we are finding the people, the farmers or SSGs or APOs who are working with means growing organically or without chemicals, and we are trying to provide the marketplace for those kind of products. And we means who are the consumers? Basically, those who wants to eat chemical-free foods. So in that case, we have started with mobile outlet model back in 2017. That what is the mobile outlet model? So it is designed like a shop, kind of a supermarket on wheel. It was it is basically running in the villages, sells some of the products that is essential for villagers, say some groceries, and it also procure their products directly from their home doorstep. So that the farmers or SSGs, especially the small and marginal farmers, they can sell their products directly to that vehicle, or if quantity is more, then in that case they can contact our person. Our separate vehicle will go and pick those things. And then we have started our static outlet model in different places on franchise basis, and so that we can reach to larger mass. And we are among the top 10 finalists in Tata Social Enterprise Challenge back in 17-18. We are among the top 50 agri startups in agricultural grand challenge that was organized by Startup India back in 18-19. We are recognized by Startup Odisha, Startup India, and supported by IIT Kanpur Vilgro. And we are among the top 10 startups that made 2020 better by social story. So while the COVID was there in 2020, so at that time, while most of the startups got shut down, we did better, and we saw more farmers in the time. And we are selected among the 20 international organizations that is working for the consumers to feed them well with chemical-free foods. That's why we are selected for Future Food Fellowship 2021 by Do School Germany. And this year, we are the finalists in National Startup Award 2021. So we got the opportunity to interact with Honorable Prime Minister on that basis, since we got selected in that program. And yeah, this is all about Bhilamat. So now we have started this model in a single district. Now we are expanding to Pan Odisha, and it's means online person is going to spread across the country. That means Pan India, our digital presence will be there this year. But for Pan Odisha, we are going to be physical. Means our model is basically physical plus digital. So this is all about Bhilamat. But thing is, while you people are there and you have many queries, so how to start a startup? And maybe some of you are interested for jobs, some wants to do some business, and some might interested for a startup company. So what is the difference between a business and startup company? And who are the people who opt for jobs, and who are the people who opt for business, and who are the people who are going to start their company? So some mindset is there. Means all the people are not meant for all. So some specific categories are there. They are good for jobs. They can do business. But some people are there. Even if you pay a higher salary, still they don't be in that job. They will leave their job and they'll start their business. But what is the difference between business and startup company? So is there any difference, or business means startup? That is obviously no. The thing is, while we are making a business, definitely we are solving the problem. Suppose means even a small roadside shop, whether it is a vegetable vendor or a tea shop or a tiffin center, it is also solving the problem of some people, isn't it? That means problem solving is there in every business. And definitely, while we are doing business, we are earning some money. That means we are generating wealth. But do we have any innovation there? And if we have any innovation, and if we have some expansion strategy there, then we are going to be a part of startup. That means we can consider it as a startup. But if we are limited to this problem solving and wealth generation, then in that case it is a simple business. Simple, maybe just like ordinary business many people are doing. So that means the basic difference is between this business and startup company is if it has some innovation and it can be expanded. It will means if you are going to start a business and you are staying, you're staying at one place, we are unable to grow it, we are unable to expand it, then it can be a startup. So I hope this is clear. Means what is the difference between business and startup? So thing is, while I was telling about this job versus startup or business, so how to decide that? Who are the people who can who are fit for this job and who are the people who are meant for the startup? So that depends upon our attitude. How, what is our attitude actually decides that. Here I'm giving one story. So story of three brick workers. Brick workers are there. A person was going in that road, and he asked the first brick worker, "So what are you doing?" He told, "I'm just earning my money of my day so that I can feed my family." And then second person in some way ahead, when he meet another brick worker, and again he asked the same question, "What are you doing?" He told, "Don't you see that I'm just laying on these bricks? So this is my job." So again, he crossed few miles, then find another brick worker, and he asked the same question, "What are you doing here?" And he told, "I'm building a beautiful monument." So so three brick workers, they are doing the same work, but their attitude is towards their work is different. So this kind of attitude means hope you can decide means what kind of attitude you have to your work while you are in a certain job or in certain business or even in your study. We can think of ourselves. We can analyze self that whether I'm getting the interest to do it, whether even in study or even in our work, we are interested to do that, or we are feeling bored. So depending on that, we can decide whether means we are loving that work or not, and what is actually our love. Means what kind of work we our heart is means wanting. So can I feel my heart that is burning for? So that way means I can ask, you can sit in a calm place and repeatedly you can ask your heart. So what it wants, whether a job is comfortable for you people, or a job means a business, and a business, what kind of business? So your heart can answer that. So you can ask again and again. And if you are not fit for a work, means a job, and you are feeling that, then you can identify that what kind of business you want to. Suppose if means someone is interested for photography, and you want to means make your career in photography. In that way, you can decide. You can make a plan on that. So what are the problem we are going to solve, and what is the revenue model? How to expand that model? How to do that? And what will be the team? How much investment you want to do? So accordingly, you can plan that. So this is the thing. This way, you can make a startup plan. And once you get some idea, so you have to validate that, because thing is in the idea will be what in a pen and paper, but it may not have the reality. It might not work in the ground. So you have to validate in a small scale. you have to validate that idea whether it is workable or not. And if that means that is called pilot testing. And if it is running in the ground, you're earning some money. If it is not means more money, you're not means you're getting not most profit. If it is working simple, at least you are getting whatever investment you have done. At least you got the idea of means revenue generation, and you are feeling that it is a good idea to expand this or means invest more and more so that you can earn more. So in that case, so you can go ahead, and you have to arrange the fund for that. And if means how to again arrange the fund, because thing is at the beginning level, nobody, no investor will come, or even no bank will give you the fund. That means you have to arrange from your own pocket, from your family, from your friends. So once the pilot model is workable, it is working, you fine in the ground, and you are confident enough, you got the team, then you can go for the fund. And you have to ask for ask means you have to arrange from your own circle, not to investor, not or neither investor will give the fund during that time, nor the bank. So during that time, some do's and don't are there. The thing is, during that time, some people arrange some money, and they take some fancy office. Means lots of mistakes they do at the early stage, because thing is nowadays this entrepreneurship is a fancy word, and people are thinking, yeah, this is means lots of investments are there. People are getting and lots of crores of money there in the startup. So I can do that, and I can get some money, because money is as if funds are running or flying everywhere. Because even some people, people around 50, 55 years or 60 years, some people ask me sometimes, can I make a startup? Can I do that? Whenever I asked them what kind of startup you want to do, then they replied that you can give us some idea. So the startup is not formed in that way. Because thing is, if I will give someone that this is the idea you can start, but the people who will go to do that, he has no idea how to do that, and he has no his heart is not burning for. So in that case, it will not get success. That means someone, it can't be borrowed. This idea cannot be borrowed from someone else. So you have to ask your heart. So what kind of business or what kind of problem I'm going to solve, and why? And if my heart is not burning for that kind of problem solving, then I cannot stay with that problem for longer days. Whenever I'm getting some pain on the way, so in that case, I'll leave that kind of job. I'll not stay there for longer time. So that's why you have to stick that. But thing is, if your heart is burning for that, so burning of heart is essential. Unless your heart is burning for that to solve the problem, you can stay there. And don't waste money unnecessarily at the beginning stage, because whatever fund you got, it will be finished within few days. So some fund planning is essential at the beginning, or even company once it is getting bigger, still some always the financial this planning is essential. And once you got the plan, you have to make a business canvas, business model canvas. So in that case, you have to identify who are the customers, and what are the channels, what are the value proposition or USP, what are the key activities we are going to do, and who are the key resources for that, and who are the key partners in that startup, what is the cost structure, what is the revenue stream, and who are the customer segments and all. So for example, suppose someone is going to make lemonade. So in that case, so where he is going to sell, and what are the key resources in that, what are the ingredients, whom he is going to sell, and with whom he is going to partner with. So all this, and what are the equipments, what are the salaries, how to advertise those things. So everything you have to means note down everything. Means your team, you have to note down each of these points and make a proper plan, and then you can go ahead. And while you are going ahead, so always there is no straight path for success, because every means at end point is not visible. For example, if means you know that foggy season means during winter we don't see lots of fogs are there, and we don't see means maybe 100 meters after we don't see that. So some means that is the case of a startup. We don't know what will happen next day or after a week. But thing is, if we have means our heart is burning for that. That means if we can work for that week, maybe some solution will come for next week. So that way we have to move slowly and consistently with patience. And sometimes what happen, we don't have a second means a plan, or means that we call plan B, because thing is always plan A doesn't work. So we should have a plan B or plan C as well. Suppose plan B is getting failed, then in that case you can't should not means close that. You should have some plan B so that you can switch it, or you should have plan C even. And it's not means suppose you're working on a startup that is related to photography, and immediately that plan B will be related to business. Not like that. In case of photography, if we are going to do some photography related startup, then in that case plan B will be just little change to that in terms of some revenue stream, or some addition in that, so related to that. And if you're working on a agri-start and related to agriculture, then plan B should be related to that with some modification. Suppose plan A is related to marketing, plan B may be related to manufacturing or production or value addition, like that. So always plan B or plan C is essential for a startup. And this is a story of woodcutter. So thing is, one woodcutter was there with the one owner, and second woodcutter joined a few months after. But within a month, the second woodcutter got his salary double. But the first woodcutter was asking his owner, so why I was working since few months, and most of the times I am here, but still my salary is still there. My salary is not getting doubled, but this is the new person, just a month ago he has joined, but why his salary is getting doubled? So in that case, owner replied that you go and ask him, and you can watch him from some distance. And he went there and saw that whatever wood the second person is cutting, it is almost double of the first person. And then he asked, he was surprised. How means we are both are kind of same person. We are means not so much difference is there, and he is also using same kind of ask I am using. But thing is how he is cutting double of the wood I am cutting. Then he went to the second person and asked him, so how you are how it is possible to cut the wood double? And the second person replied, so basically I take some pause after an hour, and during that pause, it means I take some rest in there during that time. But during that resting time, I do sharpen my axe. So when you have sharpen your axe, so in that case, that first person told it was means I did a few months back. So this is actually essential in a startup. Even it is essential in a work. So we have to sharpen ours. We have to learn continuously. We have to sharpen our means whatever job or whatever knowledge we have to sharpen that, because whatever knowledge we have, it is very limited, and this is basically these are theoretical. But while we are working, our real study or real education starts. So similarly in a startup, once you start working, then only the real education comes. So that means we have to, once you are going to start a business, you have to educate yourself in that field. So it is very essential. And this slide is very important. It is for everyone. Means, before going, thing is, while we are going to solve the problem of the society, before that we should love our work. But before that, we should love ourselves, because self-loving is essential in every cases. If we don't love ourselves, then we can't love our work, and we can't love our society. So if we are going to solve the society, solve the problem of the society, and that means we have the love for the society, but we don't have a love for ourselves. So in that case, we are cheating us. That means we can't solve the problem of the society. So love for self is essential, and in that case, you can means in under self love, you can consider three things. One is physical. Physical means your body, means how much, what kind of food you are eating, and whether you are doing exercise or not, and what is your emotional status, and what is your intelligent level. So all these things are coming under self love. And similarly, your work, whatever work you are doing, so how much love is there for that work, and then only the love for society will come. Because while you are going to solve the problem of society, so that is hard phase, but before that work will come, and before that self love will come. So keep these things in mind. And another thing is conscious mind versus subconscious mind, because we have two kinds of mind. So it is everybody has. So conscious mind is basically whatever we are doing, suppose eating or riding a bike or whatever we are doing, basically these are operated by conscious mind. But what are the things under subconscious mind? It's like heartbeat, means that those things are whatever some activities are there, means always running. So those things are under subconscious mind. So thing is, conscious mind is master, and subconscious mind is the servant. So we have to train our subconscious mind. We have to feed something good to our subconscious mind, so that our competence level will be enhanced day by day. So these are the things essential to grow self, if we are going to build self in the society, or we are going to build our startup in a bigger way in the society. Yeah, so these are the things. So you can ask questions, then whatever questions you have, then we'll discuss further. So anyone have any question so far? Means, anyone is interested to start any kind of startup?
Guys, if you guys have any query, then you can ask. Just unmute yourself and ask your query.
Yeah, you can ask, or you can write also in the chat. Anyway, you are comfortable.
Good evening, sir. Just a general question I want to ask you.
Okay.
Sir, actually, as you said earlier, you are working as a scientist. Then, when you got this idea of starting a startup, what are the first steps you followed while starting this Villamart? What are your steps you followed to start this?
Yeah. So thing is, as a scientist, thing is, I was not so much interested in this agri-related work, because thing is, I am into the scientific field, but I had the ground level experience since I was born there, and I was working in the field. But scientifically, I wanted to solve these problems. For example, uh, most means around 40% of the food is getting wasted in India, which is not in there in the foreign countries. So why it happens? Basically, we don't have a proper cold storage, or we don't have proper food processing units there. We don't have value addition system there in the rural areas. And when means, we find some cold storage there on subsidy mode, that is given by government, but those are not working because those are operated by electricity, and those are not meant for that, because thing is they don't have the understanding means how it is running and why it is running and all, and it is much far from the farmer's place, which means for which it's not possible to store the farm produces in a far distance. So these are the real problem. But thing is, can we make this cold storage in the rural areas? Can we make this cold stores in the farmers' place? Maybe in small means mini cold store or nano cold store, can say, which can be operated by solar power, because India is a solar country. We don't means we have free solar in our country, which is not available in foreign countries. In all other foreign countries, they have limited access to solar. But India is lucky in that case. So why don't we utilize that solar power? So, for example, another example is solar dryer. So in the rural areas also we are drying lots of things by solar, but we don't have proper solar dryer so that we can control the quality of that product. So in those cases, we have the contribution, because as I am from the scientific background, and my team members are also from that background. So we thought if we can add those technologies there, then we can build a proper marketplace for them, or we can help the farmers to grow. So those are the things we are taking care of. And so before coming here, we have taken a proper survey, because initially we thought if we can provide the technologies to them, but if we provide them the technologies and we are unable to sell their product at proper time, then there is no meaning of the technologies. So that's why we have started the marketplace first, and then we are adding those technologies to their product. So this field survey was essential. So we did that field survey, and we found accordingly what are the technologies needed, and what can be done for these marketplaces, and what kind of marketplace will work for India. Because Walmart means, I was there in USA, and Walmart is a great company. That is means world's highest number of employee generating company in terms of private sector. So they have the physical structure, but that kind of physical structure will not work here in India. But as per the survey, we find it that mobile outlet will solve the problem. But how to do that? What should be the expense in that? What should be the business model? And how to reach that? So all these things we have to survey, and then we have started piloting these things. So any other questions? So how many of you are interested for startup? Anyone is interested here for any startup? Yes, Aman, you can ask.
Sir, actually, I want to just inquire just if I want to just want to do a just startup in the college, suppose for the college need and something as beneficial for the college students. So
Mm.
Okay, if I build something useful for like providing notes for the students or something, then how do I market it in the college?
So college students, your focus area means your customer is college students, right?
Yeah,
So what kind of product it will be? Like means some digital or some
digital products,
pardon?
digital product.
Okay, means what kind? If you can explain a little bit so that it will be
It's kind of a software, sir,
Mhm.
like a website or app.
So that what means how it will means help the students.
Okay, like I'm just working on a website. Just even started the working on that. So my project startup aim is like I'm doing a startup like I'm building right now. I'm building a website that provides the all notes, some assignments, and quizzes and all other activities, and making it like a community for the students so they can just interact with each other. Like chatting system is also there, and they can just share each other notes and whatever. Like teacher shares the note like I'm going the second year and the student like first year they come in the start first year they like to search for like what teacher is teaching and what can I just referenceable notes like they run search for the take from the seniors, right? So that
Mhm.
all I'm just all the thing I just providing in one thing.
Okay, that's great. So thing is, you have to means you have to think on some other points like whether means how it is different from other apps like WhatsApp. Means I think is nowadays WhatsApp is doing a great job and lots of these things are solved by WhatsApp. So you have to differentiate how it is different from WhatsApp,
Yeah,
and yeah, means you have to means all those things you have to take care of, and whether means you should means think of the extension part as well, whether it is applicable in a single campus or in all other campuses. If it
okay, so
is
actually I
applicable
have
in all
this
other campuses, then it is well and good, and then it's revenue model, because thing is you are supposed putting all these status there, but how you will get the money, that is essential part.
yes,
Otherwise, so that part also you have to think of. Means some suppose some token amount they have to pay, or some registration will be there, or what kind of, or means you can decide on that how it will be.
okay sir,
Okay.
okay sir.
And once you means validate that idea in your own campus, you can ask other some of your friends in other campus. They can validate that also. And once you means start earning money, start earning some revenues, then you can go for startup registration. And once startup registration means whether it is in state level registration or and startup India registration, you can do that. So once you means while we are registering a startup in startup India and or the state level startup, so in that case we should not think of that once we register it we'll get fund. It doesn't happen. But thing is some other benefits will be available. That means the network, at least we will be connected to other means other similar startup or different kinds of startup. That means we'll be connected to startup world, so that we can learn from each other. And also some means, other benefits like this legal activities or patent filing or trademark filing, all those things. So we'll in those cases we'll get some relaxation or some discounts. So that is essential as well. And while you are registering, you have to think what kind of company you are going to form, whether it is LLP or private limited, because all this means proprietorship farm or and this partnership farm will not be registered as a startup. So you have to think on those lines, what kind of farm it will be, and then who will be your team member, because team member is essential. Means it is not means all, if all these team members will be from tech background or business background or sales background, so then in that case it will not work. So you have to make a proper team, at least some from finance, some from tech, some from sales, some from execution. So everything is essential. So that is very essential part of a startup.
Sir, just a question. Another question came to my mind.
Yes, sir.
Sir, as you know, startup is all about how many users and consumers. So basically, when you're starting an early startup, how to get more and more users, as it is not so famous, not known by the other people. So how can we get more and more users so that it will be popular in the later days?
Yeah, that based upon your startup, actually it will means you have to decide on that, because thing is, since we are working in a rural areas, digital campaign will not work for us, right? Because thing is, we are, means our customer is there in rural areas and they are not using Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. So that means that digital campaigning will not work for us. But now, since we are going to pan India, in that case, we are focusing on digital part. So that means that timing and who are the customers there. So we have to see that. Suppose the campus related startup, we have, means our customer is the campus students. So in that case, we have to give some advertisement in the campus, in the same campus, or in other similar other campuses. So in that case, we can even target that kind of audiences, or some social media, or some we can put some poster, physical poster in the campus, so that we can focus. So actually, how to expand this thing or how to add customers, so that depends upon your consumers, who are the consumers, and how to attract those consumers. Suppose so a startup is working in the rural areas, so in that case, we have to go for physical advertisement, or even we can sometimes we can reach to the people directly. We can arrange a meeting. So that is essential in that case. So it is not essential in other cases. So based upon your business idea and or your audience or your consumer, you have to choose that, how to expand it. And so what should be the advertisement strategy?
Yes, sir, got it. So suppose if, for an example, I got an idea, what should be the first step? Will I do a survey whether it will work in the market, or start building the product?
No, you have to first make the survey. Because thing is, whether someone else is doing on that same area, that you have to check. If someone is doing, how they are doing it, is there any loophole in that? Can you do some better product than them? Okay, so if you can, your product is better than them, then it is well and good. So this survey is very essential. And before that, before survey, how how much your heart is burning for that idea? Because sometimes we find that, yeah, Flipkart is earning lots of money, and this digital selling process is very good, and we can make another kind, another company related, like Flipkart. That means we can copy that. But we are not actually, our heart is not burning for that. But we are going to do another Flipkart because Flipkart is raising lots of fund. So that means our heart is not burning for that. So in that case, it might not work. So you have to, before going to survey, while you are choosing that idea, you can ask again and again to your heart how much interested it is. Whether after 2 or 3 years of painful journey, you'll still stick to that, or you'll leave that. So first yours means ask yourself, and if your heart is comfortable with that, then you should go for the survey. And while you are going to survey that, you see the customer, who are the customers and who are the competitors in the market. And if some competitors are there, if there is no competitors, it is actually wrong. That means people are not interested in that, or that is not a problem. That might be not a proper problem. So if some competitors are there, then it is easier. That means someone is doing, and how they are doing, and how many competitors are there. And if some people, suppose 4 or 5 different startups are working in the similar field, and still you are trying to work in the similar field, then how your idea is better than them? That is also essential. If you're finding a great idea and it is better than them, then you should jump. Jump means you can start your piloting. And
So,
once, yeah.
any new idea could also be the no competitor. Like when Lenskart had started earlier, it had no competitor of other, but it also started no competitor. So how to find it out in such cases? If it's new, no one else is doing while we're doing a survey.
See,
So
Lenskart has also the competitor, like the other spectacle shops were there locally. Those are not
local.
connected, but yeah, means those those means everywhere those shops are there, na. So they
Yeah.
were the local shops are their competitor. But his idea was better because he's going to work in a network. Means he's trying to build a network where he can solve he can do the same things with reduced costs. So his idea was much better than these local shops.
Yeah, he
Competition,
transferred it to digitally. So there were no such computer in the digital field.
yeah. On the similar field means it was means solving the problem. So other suppose local those cleanings and shops. So those are basically solving the problem of the people. But his idea was much better than them. But competitors were there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So everywhere means some competitors will be there. If there is no competitor, that means you are doing something wrong. Definitely you will find some competitors. But if you are much smarter than them, then it is well and good.
So a proper survey is required to know who are the proper competitors and who are doing
Right.
that previously.
Right. You should actually, if problem is means you have spent much time on this pain point, selecting the pain point, and then in part of the solution. That means how to build that solution. In that case, you have to go for this survey. And if your survey is great, then your solution will be great. So you should focus on that. So how great this survey will be, how much time you're devoting in that, how accurate it is.
So suppose I got an idea, but I am not expertise in that field. So will it be wiser to spend some time in the skill development, or should work with the person who has the accurate knowledge in that field?
Yeah, thing is, if it is your own idea, but you are not trained in that field, you don't have much idea, then you have to train yourself. Means it is wise to take another some person who are good in that field. Means you have to take, but still the person who is jumping fast into this kind of fire or this well, so he has to learn, because if you don't know much on that and you're thinking you can hire someone or you can take someone else, he will solve your problem. So that is not a good idea. So you have to train yourself as well. But to make it better, you can take some experts in that field in your team member, not as employee.
Okay.
So any other questions?
So guys, are you having any more query? Just unmute yourself and ask.
Sir, how do your Villa Mart maintain its profitability even in shortage?
Profitability and
In shortage.
shortage means wastage, or what do you mean by shortage?
Shortage of food.
Shortage of food means shorting rating, or what do you mean by that? Means shortage means to your first point, that profitability means since we are working in the rural areas, it is not much profitable as of now. Thing is, it is kind of social enterprise. In case of means previously social enterprise concept was not there, means social startup concept was not there. means basically NGOs were working in that field. But now the social enterprise is the new concept. Means you are going to make profit, but along with that you are solving the bigger problem of the society. So Vilamart is basically a startup, means private limited company, but it's kind of social startup. So for a social startup, it takes some time to get profitable. But yeah, we have a number of employees and we are profitable, but we are not that much profitable as of now. And regarding your second query, maybe shortage of, I don't know what you mean by that, but we are trying to reduce the wastage. Means initially the wastage of the farm produce was 40%. We are by implementing some technologies like solar operated cold store and solar dryer, etc. We are reducing that wastage to below 10%. And since we are we are connected with the farmers, APUs, and directly in the ground. So that's why as per our need, we are taking the products. Because thing is, we can't satisfy everyone at the right moment, at the early stage. We can take, suppose we are connected with 3,000 farmers now, and we have a customer base of 30,000 to 35,000 right now. So in that case, we cannot, since the consumer base is limited for our case, we cannot take the products from 1 lakh farmers. As per the need, we have to take. So that we are balancing. So, so you got your answer, or you have any other queries in terms of shortage?
Got it.
So yeah, if you guys have any other question, you can write me. So write me at ramesh@vilama.in. So yeah, if I can help you in any way in finding your startup idea or helping in any way, and you can visit us at vilama.in. And this year we are also going pan India for this having our digital presence. You can check our site. It will be we are launching it soon. So you can get the rural products, healthy products, with chemical free products like black rice or red rice or hand pounded rice and different kinds of dal. Local locally GI tag products also will be will get there. And desi cow milk or jungly honey will get. And vegetables also, organic vegetable will get, but it is limited to some cities. It's not everywhere. And some different spices will be available there as well. And some other healthy products will be available, like this jaggery or stevia and some other products. So we can check out those things. And if anyone is interested to work internship, also you can write us at hr@vilama.in. So even it is related to whether it's marketing or sales or even technology related, you can work with you want to work. Then in that case, you can write to us. So, Saumya, do you have any other question or?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, so here one question is there, Ramesh Chandra Das. I think you are solving the supply chain issue at one end, but what are you actually solving at other end? Yeah, basically we are trying to create a marketplace. So you can say a platform means suppose Uyu is a platform in terms of hospitality, or Ola is a platform. That kind of platform we are trying to build. That is a physical platform. Digital means the physical plus digital. So we are trying to build a platform where the farmers can sell their products, or farmer or SSGs or APUs can sell their products directly without any middleman, and consumers can get their product easily in any of our store, whether it is a mobile outlet or static outlet or means digital presence, means digitally other people are there, but we are focusing more on a physical part. So our digital presence will be there, but we are more focused on this physical part. Physical means static outlet as well as mobile outlet. For example, suppose 1 lakh outlet will be there in all India, and in a walking distance you will find one outlet of Villamat. So in that case, that means in a walkable distance you will get quality product, where a consumer can get the quality product, but at the same time a farmer of that locality can sell their products in there without depending on the middleman or worrying about the price and all. So that kind of platform we are trying to build. So Ramchandra, whether I answered your question, or do you have any other question? Yes, basically means we are focusing on, as I told, means we are focusing on physical stores, and obviously it is offline, but those stores are getting connected among each other. And thing is, the stores which are located in rural areas, there is no connectivity. So those are obviously disconnected, but some other way we are trying to connect. But we are focusing more on this physical part, physical outlets.
Hi, sir.
Hi, yeah.
Actually, repeatedly, I'm traveling from Western Odisha to Bhubaneswar, having an existing business for that. But I saw your one of your outlet or something like regional offices on the nearby road of Nayagada outskirts. But trying to access your products so many times, but looking at almost all of time your store are closed. What are the issues you have that this store is closed?
When you there, when you went there?
Last time I visited in last 2 months after before.
Okay, so which one? That formal one, or because we have our store at multiple places, and some places have of our stores are getting shifted to other places. So sometimes the is getting over and it is not.
Sorry, sir. I can't audible here. Some network is but I can't audible you.
Hello? Yeah, means which store in I don't know, but if it is Kodwai, then that store was means shifted to another place.
Yeah.
Yeah, because thing is that it was over, and that's why we have to some
As you said, or your website presence said that you have organically produced product or something like that. But trying to access your product so many times. So then I was saying that that store on the town outskirts of Niagara almost closed every time, and trying to access your product from their website also. But your stores आप स्टोर को प्रेजेंट किया है आपने आपकी वेबसाइट में, उसमें तो सारे वो जो FMCG ब्रांड की प्रोडक्ट दिखाई दे रहा है मुझे. इसमें ऑर्गेनिक प्रोडक्ट क्या डालते हैं आप, मुझे पता नहीं चलता एक्चुअली. उसमें मैगी है, ये है.
I have shared here two links. One is your website link, another is online file that you place your order. But we are supplying this order only in Bhubaneswar. We are supplying 2 days in Bhubaneswar, that is Wednesday and Saturday. So if you are in Bhubaneswar, you can order in the factory. But for Canada, we are will like that.
Any of your store in Bhubaneswar have physical presence now, sir, right now?
Where? Bhubaneswar.
Huh?
No, Bhubaneswar, our office is here in Bhubaneswar. Where means our
How
but
sorry, I how can access your organically produced items, as I'm in Bhubaneswar? How can I access your products physically?
yeah, you can come to our office then. So it is
I
located
mean,
here,
I
Kandagir.
Khandagiri.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So it is, I can check in the Google also, Piramid City Office. So you can come to the office, you can check the products you need, or you
And
can,
this store, which is in Bhubaneswar right now, all the products are organic.
yeah, means right now we are, means in cities actually we are dealing with organic products.
Okay, thank you.
But in rural areas, we are dealing with all sorts of products, means all sorts of vegetables and normal groceries. But in Bhubaneswar or city, even at online pan India presence, we are dealing only with these organic and basic products, and basically chemical free products, not all.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay, Ramesh, I think they don't have any query, right? Okay, okay. I didn't ask this.
So if you're Aryan, you if you want to connect with abroad, that means you have to export your product. So in that case, you have to take means export license, and some different strategies are there for that. So you have to take the license, and you have to follow those standard of product. We have means once that kind of standards you maintain, then you can do that. But it is possible, and means you can get training by some experts on those who are doing export. So that way you can do that. But it is not for all the products. But you have to choose what kind of products you can supply there, and what are the demands and what price. But that means if whatever questions you have, that is related to export. Aryan, do you have any other question, or this is the question related to export? Okay, thank you. So, Soumya, if there's no more questions, can I leave?
Yes, Josh, it seems it's the end. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time and words. It surely would have inculcated a boost and positive energy among all the willing entrepreneurs present today.
Sir, for
Okay,
Pan
thank you.
India, we require some license to supply our products.
Pardon?
So, for Pan India supplying for our products and farm tech, we require some any type of license that and tell me that we have needed export license to export it to some abroad countries.
No, for pan India supply, you don't need the export. But means if it is related to food, you need FSSAI license. Means depending on the business, what kind of business you are doing accordingly, you have to do the means need the licensing. Means GST is mandatory in all sorts of business. But after that, if it is related to food, then FSSAI is essential. And what kind of FSSAI it should be? So what kind of means whether it is related to food or just trading, or what kind of it is. So accordingly, you have to means, you need the licensing. But for export, you need export license. That is separate one.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I think. Sure, Ramesh. First of all, it was very great and informative session. Okay, that we had right now, and I was listening each and everything that you were talking about. And thank you so much for the great session.
Yeah, thank you all for joining and organizing this session. So I have shared my email ID. Also, if you have any inquiries, you can write me. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So guys, wait for the attendance form link to get the for getting the certificate. Okay. Yeah, I have some announcements for all of you guys. Okay. Sure. Are you guys excited to be the entrepreneurs and to get the proper guidelines for your startup? Sure. Yeah, just write. Yeah. Yes. 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 Here we comes with a course that is founder finder course. Okay. And it's a complete program on the startup and entrepreneurship. And it will be a 3-month program in which we will be focusing about startup, entrepreneurship, sales, marketing, team management, pitching, fundraising, etc. Means here you will get the proper guidelines to how to start a startup. Okay. Yeah. And the best part of this course is that we don't have any program fee, and we won't be taking any equity from your company and all. Like it is completely free of cost. Okay. And just for that you have to clear interview session to get onboarded with us. Okay. And here the best entrepreneurships and the founder of the different companies will be interacting with you to guide you to how to focus on on the growth of your startup companies. Okay. And we are not like how we are different from the other entrepreneurship courses. Okay. Like here you will be interacting with the various founders, and you can also find your co-founder here. Like, and you will the best part is that you will be getting a community of entrepreneurs that where you can share your ideas, having brainstorming sessions, partner up with other students, and etc. Okay. Yeah, that's all about the course. Then are you guys excited to join us with this course? Yeah, just write in the chat box.
Yeah, can you tell more detail about it, when it will be and what will be its requisites, when it will be the interviews, as you said earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, when the program will be, and what are the, you told as interview round, what are the, can you give some more guidelines about that?
Okay, like our courses will be starting in the month of June, in the first week of June. Okay.
Okay.
And the interview sessions will be around after 10 days after you're registering.
Oh.
Yeah, am I clear?
So yeah, so what are the process of registration?
Yeah, you will be getting a registration link here. Soumya, just share the registration link for this course. Yeah, guys, the registration links are in the chat box. So just register yourselves to get onboarded with us with the program Founder Finder. And to get the more updates about our courses, then you can follow us on our social media handles to get the updates.